Hey there, it's Anthony from Astro West, and this is our last chance um, to get an idea of what tonight's webinar is all about. You know the saying, time is of the essence? This is why I'm giving you a sneak peek of tonight's webinar. It's the perfect time to learn something new that will improve our lives and ourselves as individuals. It's all about understanding the ancient Celtic agrarian calendar and how we can utilize it to manifest our promises, our intentions, our resolutions throughout the coming year. We're currently in the period between the Celtic New Year and the winter season, where we get to come up with plans that'll serve us more broadly this year than they did last year. Think of it this way: every thought, every intention, every promise we make to improve our lives is a seed that must be planted, cared for, nurtured, protected, and eventually brought to harvest to improve our lives. We can't just plant these resolutions on New Year's Eve and hope for the best. They have to be guided and cultivated throughout the entire year in order to bear fruit. Otherwise, they just wither and die in the first few weeks, much like my resolution to give up smoking. I'm going to share a graphic with you and give you a short explanation of the calendar and how we can use it to keep our promises. This is the ancient Celtic agrarian calendar, also known as the Wheel of the Year. I've chosen the Celtic calendar because, unlike others, there's a lot of historic information about it. So it gives credibility to this particular calendar above any others. Notice there were four seasons in the ancient year: Samhain, Imbolc, Beltane, and Lunasa. Also, there were four halfway markers between each season, and these were used to reinforce and celebrate the meaning of the seasons at its pinnacle. All eight of these were celebrated with rituals and ceremonies that I'll be sharing throughout the coming year. Samhain, which is how this is pronounced, was the final harvest, but also marked the beginning of the new year. All the crops had been harvested. The breeding stock was separated from the rest of the herd, which was ritually and humanely slaughtered to provide food during the harsh winter. And it was time to batten down the hatches and survive until spring. It was then, at this time, between Samhain and the winter solstice, that our predecessors reviewed the previous year and made new plans and promises to ensure that next year would bring an even better harvest. The winter solstice, which we just passed in December, brought the promise of the return of the sun. The days began to get longer, the light was returning, and the solstice was celebrated to remind us that no matter how harsh and cold the winter was, the sun was on its way back to keep us warm, grow our crops, and bring us another harvest. Right now, we're coming up to Imbolc, which celebrated the first stirrings of life in the frozen seeds that we planted in October. They haven't broken through the shell yet, but life has indeed begun to stir. This is the perfect time to plant the seeds of your intentions, commitments, and resolutions for the new year, and also reinforce those promises throughout the year by using the celebrations of this ancient calendar. Now, I'm going to be providing separate classes on each season and midpoint throughout the year. These can be attended individually or as a series of 8 lessons offered at a discounted rate. If you haven't already, please sign up for this webinar. The Zoom link will be embedded in the lesson accompanying the class, so do your best to be there 7:30 p.m. tonight. And if you can't make it, join anyway. As with all classes at Astro West Underground Education, a replay of the original live broadcast will be included in your student account for you to review if you haven't caught the original, or to refer to if you want to refresh yourself. These will stay available as long as you decide to be a member, and membership is free, so you've got nothing to lose. I hope to see you there, and looking forward to seeing you tonight. Bye.